Now we are going to work on steps 15 through 17 of this tutorial. 15 through 17 require us to use the if statement. Let's say that you want to compute the profits from these sale amounts. One simple rule is that every sale at store 200 generates a profit of 10%, and at other stores we get a profit of 15% from every sale. To implement this kind of a formula, we can go to the Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to go to column H1. I'm going to label this as profit step 14, and H2 I'm going to find out or write this if statement. If Remember, our rule is that if it's 200, if the store number is 200, profit is 10%, otherwise profit is 15%. So store number is 200, and how do I know what store number it is? I look at B2. If B2 equals 200, so this is the testing condition. This is the test condition. If B2 equals 200, then profit is total sale times 10%. And where do I get from the total sale amount? It's in G2 times 10%. Otherwise, I use 15% of the total sale amount. Otherwise, it's G2 times 15%. So this if condition is fairly simple. If B2 equals 100, G2 times 10% is the profit. Otherwise, G2 times 15% is the profit. So I type this formula and I change this to currency, and I have the currency value here, and I sorry, I should have said B2 equals 200, not 100 here, and I drag and drop, and I'll get everything here, right? All the profits, 10% if the store number is 200, otherwise 15%. Now I want to become a little more sophisticated, and I would like to implement this kind of a formula that's in step 16. If the store is 200, the profit is 10%. If the store is 300, the profit is 15%. Otherwise, the profit is 20%. Right? So, for me to accomplish this, it's almost the same formula, except that I need to use another condition, if condition, within an if condition. So I'm going to copy this formula, and I'm going to put profit step 15 as the title here, and here I'm going to paste this previous formula. Previous formula is B2 equals 200, G2 times 10%, otherwise G2 times 15%. Since it is a nested if, in this third argument of this if statement, I will put together another if statement. I would say if B2 equals 300, now it would be G2 times 15%. Otherwise, it's G2 times 20%. So in other words, what this is telling us or doing for us is it will check whether the store is 200. If it's 200, it computes this total sale times 10%. If the store is not 200, it comes here, it checks whether the store is 300, and If it is 300, it will compute the total profit as total sale times 15%. If it's not 200, nor is it is 300, for every other store other than 200 and 300, it will compute the profit as the total sale times 20%. And I enter this formula. I format these cells to currency, and I drag and drop this, and I get all these numbers. So we can spot check this. So for example, if I go to 600, it should be 20%, right? So 20% of $539 should be 107 $80, right? So this should be 20% of $539. On the other hand, if it's 200, it's 10%, so I get $49.98 here. If it's 300, it should be 15%. 15% of this is $58.05. So this formula is called the nested if formula, and we have implemented that because there is one if within another if statement. And in step 16, we do another type of nested if formula. Profit step 16, and this nested if formula is slightly different. It asks us to compute profits based on the sale price. If the sale price is less than 25, profit is 10%. If it is between 25 and 125, it's 15%, and if it is above 125, it's 20% of the total sale. So we are going to do the same thing again. We come here, and for me to start, I'll copy and paste this particular formula from I2, even though I'm going to change a lot of parameters here. So I would use the sale price as the criteria, and the sale price is given in E2. If E2 is less than 25, then it is G2 times 10%. On the other hand, if E2 is less than 125, it's 15%. Otherwise, E2 is G2 times 20% is the profit. And once again, I change these to currency, and I drag and drop this for computing the profits.